Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday, June 15th, 2022. How's everybody doing? Are you ready for the excitement today? Mr. Powell will share his wisdom with us. The market will share its wisdom with us. So far in the market, it looks like the bulls are just kind of hanging tight. I seriously, here, let's go to this chart. There we go. I seriously doubt too much is going to happen until the Fed announcement, a little chopping around maybe. That's about it, really. But I just seriously doubt there's going to be any big moves. Usually, these things aren't kept a secret. The people in the know. So, shortly before the Fed announcement, you might see some stocks really kind of pushing either up or pushing down. Like I say, these things can't be kept a secret. So you just have to watch the charts. The scanner will show things popping up or popping down beforehand. So, yeah, I'm excited for today. I really am. I'm excited to get this over with. There's a lot of talk about half a point, 3/4 of a point. I hope they do a point and 3/4, 2 points. I hope, which they're not. I would be surprised. But it sounds like that 3/4 of a point is what's coming. That could, shock the market a little bit, and the market may like it after the shock. So, a guy could dream. We'll see. That's the only thing we can do is kind of wait. Hey, good morning, Julie. How are you? JW, Anthony, how you doing? Gavin, Ron, John. Good morning, Ed. How's it going in your neighborhood? I'm glad to see you have your electricity back. I'm sorry that. For those that don't know, Ed lost his power yesterday, and they told him that it was going to be 2 to 3 days. And I was concerned for him. I truly was. Good morning, Mai. Hey, John. How you doing there? Good morning, Lenny. Okay, so let's take a look at the market. We're below, price is below the T-line. T-line is below the trend indicator. In my mind, you can't be, well, we'll say 95% bearish. There are some long trades. We'll take a little peek at them, a couple possibilities, but overall, the market is overwhelmingly bearish. So any long trades, you're fighting the market. Doesn't mean you can't make a buck at them, but you are fighting the market. Kind of like it's kind of like throwing water into the wind. You're likely to get a little wet, just likely to get a little wet. So we'll keep that in mind. T2122, we're really deep in the oversold area. This is absolutely by no means a meaning that we're going to roar to the upside. That's not what this means. It's just simply an indicator that says we are oversold. The reality is we can stay oversold for a long time. A long time. We could even dive a little bit lower, which might be kind of scary, actually, about as low as we've been. But we could stay there an awful long time. So it means absolutely nothing about, hey, the market's going to pop up today like that. Back over here. There we go. If we take a look at the T2123, which just simply tells us the number of issues making new highs and the number of issues making new lows. If we look at the close yesterday, the 15-minute close, we're starting to move up. So all that is saying that we're starting to see, I mean, just, and maybe yesterday morning, we'll keep it simple. Let's just say there's only, we're talking about 10 stocks, okay? Keep it simple for me. I would say all 10 were negative. So no new highs being made, nothing but new lows being made. That's what this is saying here. We start moving up. Now it's saying, okay, we're getting a few new highs. What's a few? 1. So we need this to be trending. We need this to be really bullish. To give you an example, what that might look like is something like this over here. That's what we need to see. So we start to see that, then I think we can start talking some bullishness. Here's the hourly chart on that. There's a good view of it. That's what we need to see. And that would be a sign of, okay, let's buy some longs. Let's play the bull game. Until then, though, I'm afraid that market's a bit not in the best shape. All right, let's take a look at some charts. TTWO. Yesterday I mentioned that this is just absolutely a beauty of a short. It was mentioned by one of the members in here day before yesterday. And this thing is still looking short. I like the design of it so well. What I mean by the design is the rally up, hitting that 50 period moving average, or a type of a blue ice failure right in here, and moving down. I created a scan designed on TTWO, and I'll be working with it today a little bit, tightening it up and things like that. But I love this setup right here, that failure of the 50. I love it because the 50 period moving average being one of those major moving average, it gives you a line in the sand. Now you can detail that a little bit with price action. You can certainly do that, but it's that area right there, and then it just a hard line in the sand. If TTWO was to come back up over that 50 period moving average, I don't think anybody and their brother would want to be short this. However, below the 50 period moving average, looking at it like this, tells me that there's more shorts out there, and we may see a jump down here to 115.20, and then we have a gap here to fill at 111 here. So we'll be watching this one. This will also be a great trade if it starts to move up. Good trade to the long side. 1, if the market turns around, and 2, if we start to pop to the upside. Twitter, I see nothing but short on Twitter right now. Nothing but short. To start with, Twitter's a mess right now. In a mess, it's just because they're in this state of confusion, I think, with this whole Elon Musk thing, and efforts are not being spent on what it should be being spent on. And then if you look at the chart here, we're failing the trend indicator up here. It looks like we have a nice top right in here. Price is under the T-line. T-line is under the trend indicator here. I see more downside coming. If we turned around and started moving over this price action here, okay, might not be so bullish on it, but right now it still looks bullish. Weakness, any weakness coming through yesterday's candle could kick us down to 35.40, and below 35.40 we have these lows here at about 32.30. BKSY, if you're looking for a long, this has some possibilities. This trade might not be for everybody just because it's kind of a smaller price in here. Big move up. We broke right through the 50 period moving average. We broke through the downtrend here, and we hit the dotted deuce and then back down to that 50 period moving average. It could be setting up for another rally back up. Right now, I would be looking for a couple of simple targets. That's what I'm going to start with, is rounded bottom breakout rules. Just put a line at the dotted deuce in the 200. To tighten this up a little bit, you can use this area up in here. I mean, if you want to put it, your target up here, that certainly works. I think the most important thing is get that stop in place. And where would you not like this chart? Well, if it started to come back, I'm gonna go right here. We got to the 50 period moving average, and then we came up yesterday. We stopped right here at the T line. It looks like we're flirting with the T-line this morning. If our flirt turns down, and we get below this 204, maybe even $2, we get below that, then that just tells me we're headed back down and we're not ready to go up. Over the T-line, it looks like a trade. I think it would have to close over the T-line to stay in it. Here is a little bit of resistance right here. I better put a line in there, hadn't I? There's a little bit of resistance in there. Another way to maybe handle this is wait till it's over 245 to buy. Up here to the 200 being a rounded bottom breakout, that's the rounded bottom breakout ultimate target. We're talking 126%. So believe me, you don't have to be in a hurry to get into this chart. So waiting for this 245 might not be a bad idea. So we'll put a buy box up here. Price gets up there. Watch for that entry. Now we've got a trade. VIPS, VIPS. This is another long trade. Here we've broken out. Boom. This was also pointed out by somebody in the room yesterday. Thanks, Sean. I think it was Sean. Here we've broken out of the 200 period moving average. I think we're setting up pretty good, maybe to run up. I'm going to put a line right there until I go look at price. Right there, by the way, is the 1,000 period moving average. So now let's go look at price. I'm just going to go to a weekly chart so I can see more of the chart to the left. You can see that we're flirting with that 50 period moving average. I'm actually going to drop this line down. There we go, to those highs. That's would be my target, about 13 bucks. So about 13 bucks up there. We've got a nice J hook trying to be put together. Yeah, it's not a bad chart. NIO. I've got a little more longs on here than I thought. NIO had a great day yesterday. Bottom line, it doesn't stay above the 50 period moving average. It's worthless. Another thing is, let's check the trend. We're right here, just barely breaking out of that trend, so that's going to be important to stay above. Time, that's another one that, here's a trend line here. We've broken out of that trend here. This is a rounded bottom breakout. The way the market is down so much, this is at some point, I'm not going to say it's going to be today, not at all, but at some point when the bull actually raises its head and it gets on its feet, right now it's on one foot dragging its ass. When it gets on its feet, then chart strategies like the pinball setup, the rounded bottom breakout, they are going to be killer. I just know this, and the reason is because there's so many quality stocks that's in this area. This is a rounded bottom breakout area. The pinball area would be, maybe right here up, something like that. Maybe even here up. So they will be someday, but not today. Not today. So this is the time to really brush up on them. Anyway, this could be setting up right here. Target. The first thing we're going to do, just looking at the chart, very simple. Just our two targets for the rounded bottom breakout, dotted deuce, 200 period moving average. And from there, you can come in here and detail it with price action, which honestly, I'm going to leave mine right there. I like that. And I'm going to leave it right here at the 200. Now from there, you trade price on the way up. We've got a nice trend. You've got a low, high, higher, low, higher, high breakout, higher, low. We're working for the next breakout. So SQQQ, if things turn rotten today, SQQQ could be moving up. This is the 500 period moving average, so it could offer a little resistance. It could. Being at this top right here, this could offer a little resistance as well. But if the market heads south, I don't know that this is going to care about any resistance. If the market starts jamming to the downside, take a look at the Qs. If the Qs start moving down, and you would rather trade a long trade or something a little less, you know, a little less expensive than the Qs. SQQQ is a good one to look at. So if the market starts jamming to the downside, this just might be a buy right in here. If the market starts jamming to the upside, this could also be a nice little short. So let's keep an eye on it. If we start breaking down below this low, that gives us a little too much probability of filling this gap, touching the T-line, things like that. Don't be in a hurry to be long. Don't be in a hurry. In fact, maybe just don't be in a hurry to trade today. I know you guys, everyone is tired of hearing that. I'm sick and tired of saying that, to tell you the truth. This is a rough market, and everybody is saying that. Everybody is saying that. So, anyway, let's watch what this does. We start to see a breakout here. I could see that long. We start to see a breakdown. We'll start to see that short. Unfortunately, the market is totally guided, will be guided today by what the Feds have to say. ABCL might be another rounded bottom breakout setting up here. We've got this low, this high, this higher low. We rally up over that 50-period moving average after testing it. That becomes the ultimate. You have to stay above that 50. We want to see a good quality candle here. Probably nothing until later today, to tell you the truth. Maybe not even tomorrow, till tomorrow, when things settle down a little bit. UVXY. I like watching this. I also trade this. This would be one to keep an eye on. It kind of helps me anyway, kind of decide what the market is trying to do. You can see here we've been up, we've made this top, we made another top, and then here recently, like the last couple days, we made another top here. So the key on UVXY to be long is the breakout. Not before that though. I don't, I wouldn't get too excited about it unless we break out, watch for setup, and then maybe we see some higher moves. The other way to look at this is if for some reason the market just falls in love with whatever the Fed announcement is. If the market falls in love with it, then the market likely will go up, that loving feeling for the market. Then UVXY is going to take a nosedive. This could be a nice little short. Keep in mind the 50-period moving average is right there, and that is a known area to cause a little pause. If you don't believe it, just go look at the chart and look at the places where it pauses. It pauses an awful lot. Doesn't mean it's going to stop it, but it does mean it's likely to pause it. So watch that trade maybe to here, take some off, reevaluate, watch for any signs of, whoops, we're coming back up. Watch for that. All righty. Let's see. Rickster is asking, can you go over the pinball setup sometime today? Absolutely. Absolutely. I will plan for that. I will do that. We'll do that. Let's see. What time is it? I've got a couple minutes. Thomas, you're asking me about SJM. SJM is a nice little chart down here. It looks like we're doing something today, but really, do we want to trade through here? And I would not myself. I don't want to fight the 200-period moving average and that resistance. I really don't want to fight a downtrending 50-period moving average and fight that resistance. What I would consider fighting is if it can break out up here. Whoops, what did I just do? I have no idea. I must have touched something. Here we go. I wouldn't fight anything down here. It's a nice looking chart pattern right here. but it hasn't broken out yet. And then once it does break out of the 200, you've got tons of resistance just below or at the 50 period moving average. So this doesn't look like a trade till we get up here. One of the, Thomas, and for everybody, if you want an edge in the market, then wait for a trend to get started. If you want an edge. If you're trying to rush the market because you're so sick and tired of not doing anything or being cautious and you just want to trade, then trade it. But if you really want an edge, take your time. If you want to win 7 out of 10 trades instead of losing 7 out of 10 trades, then wait for that edge. And I do not believe that this chart is giving you an edge right now. Up above the 50 period moving average, I believe that would be some kind of an edge that you would have. I've got another question over here. Well, let's look at BA. Let's see, let's get rid of all that. And what price would you like BA long? I realize it's not ready yet. Yeah. Let's take a look at the weekly chart, and we're in a clear downtrend. So here we have a low, high, higher low. So for fun, let's just put a line right here. And then I want to see what the daily chart looks like. So there we go. We could have found that on the daily. So if we waited till over 142.15, which unless it just jammed up there with 1, 2, maybe 3 candles, the 50 period moving average is going to be down there already. So we've got a low, high, higher low. Boom. We break out of this high. This would be the tradable bottom right there. So I would say over 142.15. I'm not interested in trying to catch it down here, because down here what's happening is you're in construction. You're in that possible foundation construction. Now we don't know, you never know if it's positive construction until it breaks out. So this construction here can just go sideways for days, right? For weeks it can go sideways, which all those are tradable. That's certainly possible. But you never know if that construction is going to lead to a big building here, or is it just going to have an earthquake and collapse to the downside. So I would say over 142 is what I would look at on Boeing. And then, you know, you really got to consider the chart. Now, John, Boeing might be one of those long-term hold charts for you. I don't know. Boeing could be a long-term hold for somebody. That's kind of a different game, but we need to prove that this is going to be the bottom. All righty. All right, I will see everybody here in a bit when the market opens up. And yeah, let's take it easy today. Hey, KM, I see your private message. Ask in the room, please, not on a private message. Okay, that's not what private messages are for. All right, thanks. We'll see everybody in about 15 minutes.